I think I have figured out the secret to winning in the postseason. The key to winning playoff games is have bad goaltending. Let's talk the Oilers because they come back for the 5th straight game. First team in NHL history to win 5 straight games they were trailing. Did it 4 in a row against the Kings, and they were trailing in the other 2 games too. Came back in one of those. They do it last night against Vegas, down 2-0 early on a pair of Mark Stone goals, and from there, give the shit kicking of a lifetime, really. And this team has broken my brain because I was watching them in the second period losing a game. They were losing the game, and they were playing so well that I was like, this is great. Even if they lose this game, they play this way, they're fucking winning in 5. This is unbelievable. And then I was reminded by somebody who's new to hockey, but isn't like winning the game in the playoffs really important? Shouldn't you more be thinking, oh my God, they're the better team and they're going to lose this game? Normally, and I've done this with the Bruins, I've done this with a lot of teams where I'm like, you're not going to outplay them this much in every game. You better win this game. And this stupid team has rewired my brain to think, well, you're not supposed to win the games early in the series. So they pull that out. What a game. What a win. Do you at least understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah. So my big question that I was going to ask you is, like, as an Oilers fan, do you think that this is sustainable? Do you think that this is something that they need to fix to play better early on in games? Or is this just their identity? And are you comfortable with it being their identity, that they don't come out well in the first 20 minutes of games, they just get stronger, and then they take games in the second and third period? Because that's exactly what they've done, and they've won, 5 games in a row now? Why fix what isn't broken?
I don't think that some of it is sustainable. I don't think some of the stuff they were doing against the Kings is sustainable. If you tell me they're going to play the way that they did last night, which was their best performance of the postseason, like maybe a single team's best performance of the postseason, like the best single game a team played 60 minutes wise, and that's including 10 minutes in which they didn't really show up because that's just what they do. They take an immediate, kind of unfortunate, high-sticking double minor, give up a goal, then another shaky goal from Calvin Pickard, and you're like, oh boy. What they did the rest of that game is, if they do that, then yeah, do whatever you want in the first 10 minutes. But I don't think you're going to outplay anybody by that much and look that good, especially once, and granted, Oilers get to cry injuries too, but they were playing a team that was down their top defenseman.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing to mention. And like, they were missing, and they probably will remain missing, one of their better goal scorers in Pavel Dorofeev. But like, it's funny that you said like they had the best 60-minute effort, except that they played for 50 minutes. Like, yeah. I don't know if that technically holds up, but I mean, like, the third period results speak for themselves here. And 17-6 in third periods during this playoffs, they're outscoring opponents. Somebody in the chat just threw in Calvin Pickard, 957 save percentage in third periods. It helps when he doesn't have to face any shots, but like, this is a team that I think when they put themselves in a position where they need to lock in, they're really good at locking in. But do you like the fact that they're forcing themselves to lock in by kind of playing shitty?
So this brings me to this. I think I have figured out the secret to winning in the postseason. The key to winning playoff games is have bad goaltending. Have a bad goalie, and a goalie that is so shaky, you are terrified of letting the other team get a shot on goal, and you are going to see miracles made. You are going to see Evan Bouchard. Let's give some flowers to defensive wizard Evan Bouchard blocking shots. Darnell Nurse, unbelievable, which that second thing we can see happening from time to time. I don't see John Klingberg and Evan Bouchard and really, like, team defense-wise, this team being as good as they were last night. They definitely were for points of last postseason, but you know what? Maybe that's because they thought they had a bad goalie. What's the stat that was hammered all year we kind of rolled our eyes at? The Oilers' record when they get 900 goaltending is 301. Do you know what Calvin Pickard's save percentage is this postseason? It's not 900. It's not 900. They have a bad goalie, or they're nervous about their goaltending, whatever it is, and that is making them shipshape. The shit they did in the second period last night, in which Vegas scored a shot, landed only one shot on goal, that's all Knobloch. That's all this team saying, we can't. After that second Mark Stone goal, you texted me, yet another easy one through the 5-hole, and yeah, he had a bit of time to pick his spot, but when you're picking your spot against Calvin Pickard, we know where it's going, and it's going in the net. They just get into this fear, but also confidence, because they know that they're going to score the goals at some point. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. Folks, if you don't know what to do in the playoffs, you can't seem to get those wins, have a bad goalie. That's it.
I mean, it's such an outrageous claim on the surface, and I don't agree with it, but I also can't argue against it, because last week I had the take that the reason the Jets won Game 5 was because Connor Hellebuck was so bad and gave up that horrendous goal in the second period that forced them to lock in and not allow any shots on net. So, like, maybe there is a crumble of truth that if your goalie is so shaky that it kicks your defense into gear and like makes them lock in and prevent shots to the best of their ability because they're afraid of what's behind them. Maybe there is some success to be had there. I think you want some saves though.
Maybe. We'll see. You know what I loved? When Stone scores that first one, I'm like, yeah, makes sense. They're going to be fine though in this game. Stone scores the second one. You're like, God damn it. We'll find out if they can do this against these guys. And then come the stats. The Vegas Golden Knights have never... okay, I immediately bet on the Oilers to win. Like, there is no number, there's no statistic, there's no historical information you can give me to make me think they can't come back in this game.
The realization I've had throughout these playoffs, and maybe it's taken me too long to make this realization, is trying to understand the Edmonton Oilers as an exercise in futility. I genuinely don't like it. I don't have an idea of what they're going to do from day to day.
I mean, like, I get what you're saying, but I would disagree with that at this point because they're doing the same thing basically every day. It's they're not playing well to start these games, and then they're getting stronger and coming back late in games. And like
Fair.
that to me is more predictable than say the Dallas Stars, who like can turn it off and look horrible, but then also look like one of the better teams on any given night as well.
Chat is asking when we are going to discuss Connor Brown right now. I texted you boys during the game, and this is going to sound derogatory, but I said, I think Connor Brown is the best bad player in the NHL. And by bad player, I mean like ideal bottom 6 guy. If he's in your top 6, that's not amazing. But what this man does in the playoffs is crazy. His breakaway goal last night, block the shot, grab it. Who did he kill? He early retired Shea Theodore, right? Just early retired him.
Yeah,
and then beat Aiden Hill, who another guy we haven't mentioned. Aiden Hill was unbelievable last night. And Aiden Hill was pissed after that goal. I would be too.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the best sign for Edmonton is that Aiden Hill had a good game, and like they still, I mean, it's easy to be on the winning end when you don't allow the team to have the puck in the second half of the game, even when they have a good goaltender. But like you got a good game from Aiden Hill, which isn't a guarantee in these playoffs, at least. So I thought it was very, 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 very important for them to win that game, especially without Pietrangelo in the lineup. And you called it a must win. Wasn't willing to go that far, but I thought it was a big statement game in Game 1 by the Oilers to take that on the road.
I got to say, every year we're different as people. We grow, we change. I'm handing out must wins like candy this postseason, and I don't know why. I've always historically been are they eliminated if they lose? So it's not a must win. Stop saying I'm pretty liberal with my must win dolings.
You've been really kind of like making it rain with these. The Caps are doing bands or make or dance. You're doing must wins. Will just fly on the stage.
Every time I say a game is a must win, though, that team wins.
Yep,
and I have not disagreed with you at any point. Like the Leafs definitely felt like a must win, especially after we saw how that game went.
Right, where they lose their goalie and they're kind of falling apart and falling back into what we saw last round where they can blow leads.
I just want to confirm, by the way, that was Shea Theodore. I just rewatched the goal, and boy, that was bad.
I mean,
early retire is a good way to
sick
put it.
by Connor Brown, though.
Oh,
Like,
it was sick, but Theodore did not look good there.
Dude,
that was as close to a pick six as you will get in hockey.
Yes,
Like caught it and just torched the defense the other way.
Okay.
Theodore looked like a quarterback that tried to make a tackle too, just like turn in different directions, and the next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
And I tweeted it while they were losing the game, which again is just so weird how my brain is wired from watching these guys. But they had everybody going. Adam Henrique, we're not even talking about, had, I thought, his best game of the season. Brown, unbelievable game. Nurse was great. I don't know if Pickard was great. I thought it was funny. Zach Hyman was doing the ESPN interview after, and the Sports Center anchor, who I think maybe wasn't a huge hockey guy, just looked at the score and was like, how about Calvin Pickard the final 50 minutes of the game? Zach Hyman, consummate pro, doesn't miss a beat. And he was like, yeah, we play hard for him. And like, he was nails. We have no idea how he was. He saw like one shot, but let's keep it that way, baby. How do you think this bodes for the series? Because I think the Knights had the edge going into the series. I think that it's winnable for either team. I think that right now it's probably a toss-up, though.
I think it's probably a toss-up. I'm not going to say that like Vegas. I wouldn't feel low if I was Vegas, especially like, you're probably going to have the coaching edge in this series. I just think that with Pietrangelo back, with some adjustments based off of what you saw in game one, I would expect a much better game and a more prepared Vegas in game two.
Okay, Sean, we have a super chat, I believe, from early in the show celebrating this game. From Dustin Schwartz. Found out about you guys from Oil Nation. Great show. Thank you very much. Oilers are by far the most entertaining and stressful team to cheer for, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, that's basically the hallmark of this show from time to time. So thank you very much.
It's funny to me how you keep talking about how like I don't know why my mind, like the Oilers have broken my mind. Like if the Oilers hadn't broken your mind at this point, you should be a Navy SEAL. Like to have the mental fortitude to not be broken by the Oilers would be incredibly impressive.
Impenetrable. Now, Leon Draisaitl tied this game with a fun little bank off of Aiden Hill. It would have been tied earlier, but Trent Frederick missed the net. And shout out Sportsnet cameras for catching this. After missing the net, Sean, if you have it, he broke his stick. That happens all the time. Austin Matthews does it with Ridley Gregg's stick. No, Trent Frederick broke his stick over his own head. Look at this. Took him a second. What a psycho.
I saw a lot of responses being like hockey parents losing their absolute mind right now. Whereas like, I mean, sure, but like that's cool as hell. If you're going to break a stick, you may as well do it that way.
Well, if you're going to break a stick, you might as well do it after missing the net on a key moment and be like, people are going to be mad at me. I'm going to be a poor craftsman. I'm going to blame my tools. But I'm going to do it in a way fans hadn't seen. I didn't see that camera angle because we were watching on ESPN. After he missed the net, I saw a stream of tweets saying, give Trent Frederick a lifetime contract now. And I was like, did Sportsnet cameras capture that puck hitting the net? What are they talking about? And then we see that. What a psycho. We love it for him.
We all silly like the mayor.